Hello, this is Steve, back with our final video on impressing the examiner with our writing, and we are looking at a B2 or C1 review. What makes a good review? What kind of phrases? That's the main point of this class. What kind of useful phrases can we include? So I'm going to share some of those with you in the form of Use of English Part 4, as I've done for all the other types of writing in the last few weeks, which you can look at on my channel. And then we're going to plan a review together. Let's get straight into this. In the introduction of your review, you might want to make your opinion very clear right at the start. So if I had to give a one-word summary, it would be engrossing, meaning fascinating. All of my sentences are going to be about Euphoria, which I've never seen and I barely know anything about, but I thought that would make it more impressive if I could write some useful phrases. You know, if I can write these phrases about Euphoria, then you can use them for any topic that you are reviewing. A TV show, a film, a book, a hotel, whatever it's going to be. Pause the video, complete the second sentence so it means the same as the first, using the word given. And of course, the expression is, if I were to sum up Euphoria in one word, it would be engrossing. And obviously you can use this for if I were to sum up the book, the film, the air fryer in one word, it would be efficient, super, fantastic, and so on. Or maybe negative, you can make your review negative. So that's our introduction phrase. The other thing we might do on our introduction is give like a more general idea of a bit of the context, talking about series on platforms in this case. And I'm saying it's very good. With likely and with across. How do you complete this sentence? I think the best way of doing it is one of the best series you are likely to come across. You could maybe also say you will or would likely come across. That also works. But the point is, come across means find, and you are likely to do something, or something is likely to happen, and so on. So we can use this expression to talk to the audience, which works in our review. We're directly addressing our audience because we are sharing our opinion of the product or the thing with the audience. So to do that effectively, we can address them directly and talk about this is one of the best things you are likely to come across. Now we want to start developing our ideas and giving our specific opinion of aspects of, in this case, the series. In my case, the dialogue. And I think it was poor. What's an expression that means poor with desired? This is a set phrase that you can learn for your reviews to say something was bad. It left a lot to be desired. The dialogue left a lot to be desired. It was quite clunky, meaning that it wasn't natural. It was forced. It seemed like people don't really talk like that. It was clunky dialogue. It left a lot to be desired. Again, I haven't seen the show, so I don't know. Maybe the dialogue is fantastic. Maybe it's like The Wire. But I'm just using this phrase so you can learn some of these different types of phrases. We could also talk about the performances being where you expected or not as good. And in this case, Jacob Elordi's performance wasn't as good. With live, of course, it didn't live up to expectations. We need to use the past simple because it wasn't as good. And this goes with live up to expectations. That's the expression that you could use to talk about your expectations. Or, I mean, it lived up to my expectations. It surpassed my expectations. We can use different phrases like that. To conclude, we might say something like, it's very memorable. So if it's very memorable with lasting, this is a bit of a tough one. But, you know, we've got to make them tough for some of these C1 questions. I think there's only one good way of saying this. It's very memorable. It leaves a lasting impression. Talking about lasting goes with impression, and you leave an impression when we're talking about the concluding view of it and it being memorable. So to leave a lasting impression, very nice expression you could use. Or a recommendation. In our conclusion, we should have a recommendation. I've included a very specific question to make sure you know how to use the verb recommend. So just be a bit careful with this sentence. You should watch it. I recommend. Now, there are two ways of doing this, but the easy way, the point I want to get across is I recommend watching it as soon as possible. You could say, I recommend that you watch it as soon as possible, which is 7 words. And then you could omit that. I recommend you watch it as soon as possible. But really you are saying, I recommend that you watch it. So just be careful you are not recommending someone, because this is not a job application. The only time you recommend someone is if you say, I recommend Mr. Iqbal for the post due to his complete honor and hard-working determination. No, you recommend something. I recommend watching it. So that's how we use recommend for our review. To finish, you need to write your own review using these phrases. So in what I'll be doing in class with my students is planning an answer, including all the basic ideas, a detailed plan, and including the actual phrases from this class applied to the thing you are reviewing. In this case, to the TV show that you are reviewing, which cannot be Euphoria. It has to be something else. It's a TV show that the whole family can enjoy, that's appealing for young and old. So you're going to include some information about that in your review to show that you've answered the task. Thinking about some of these phrases, maybe some parts didn't live up to expectations or left a lot to be desired, but other parts you would recommend and other parts you enjoyed, and so on. Using all the phrases, writing a nice complete review, and then you can send it, as always, to Father Christmas or Easter Bunny or to your English teacher, who will probably be happy to receive it, because normally we do like receiving some work and we don't mind, even if it's just spending 2 minutes reading it to say, yeah, it's good, but you could change this bit. Like that's useful feedback. And the main point is you have done it. You have sat down and gone through the process of putting together a coherent, clear piece of writing in English, which is what they want in the B2 and C1 exam. Right, let's finish there. I hope that was useful. Goodbye.